Yo. Yo. Yo, 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 yo. Man, where my Puffco crew at, man? We need a decentralized hash oil. Anybody down? Get in the DMs. I got some plans, man. I got some ideas. Just tokenize hash oil. This proprietary machine that I be using called a Puffco, it could definitely be open sourced. It's just literally a battery and a ceramic attachment that gets up to 400 degrees so it can turn my oil into vapor, bro. Amazing. If you're not investing in smoking contraptions, that's my one tip of 24. Go and see all the smoking contraptions. They're making whole ass corporations on smoking nowadays. What's up, everybody? How's it going? All right, cool. Volume's chill. I'm gonna still turn it down just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. What up, Dr. V Ray? What up, Rolando? Muhammad? Jer? What up, Og? Bro, real quick. I know it's late already, man. It's already 12:17. I'm just chilling, man. I'm working hard right now. Got a lot going into the mind and pulling the layers back, I like to say. Pulling back these layers right now. I'm on skeleton level. It's getting creepy. And meanwhile, Zen World is doing its thing, World spins. World keeps spinning. Happy Black History Month. Thank God it's a leap year, so we got one extra day. So we got 8 more days. Let's get it. Bum, 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 bum. 8 more days. You know what I'm saying? And long story short, I drew a Fibonacci because I'm just bored out of my mind with the Zen price. Again, I'm locked in right now. I'm creating, and I'm learning, educating, using Zen to my advantage rather than just sitting on my ass looking at charts all day, waiting for the chart to do something for myself. Like, bro, I am human energy, but at the same time, not on no inspirational shit. Yeah, I drew a fib from the 200 to a prediction range that I have here. Again, I'm just feeling like the crypto market is just going to surprise a lot of people in March. Like, it's you can feel it right now. Everyone's so fucking bearish. We get a little positivity and then all the fucking demons show up to tell you, don't you think about what you're thinking about, right? You just started thinking about that? Remember, we're always around. That's bullshit. Technology moves the market. I've been waiting for this moment for a long time. For a very long time. Actually, again, we're back into like when I was like you, the fly on the wall. I'm not even showing my face right now because I'm just talking to y'all. But the fly on the wall, the spectator. You know, you are a spectator till you become an observer. That's going into the water, seeing what the temperature is, you know, regular shit. Failing. If you don't have a bunch of F's, a bunch of failures, you know, you're really a speculator. You're not observing. You know, observation does mean you need to get into the experiment. So, yeah, in 2013, I was a heavy speculator of Bitcoin. And the notion was just buy it for 10 or buy it now and forget about it for 10 years. And technically we are in that future of forget about it for 10 years. So I'm witnessing people who forgot about it and they coming back 10 years later, and Bitcoin, which was like $200 in 2013, is now $52,000. Right? 52. Boy, here we just gonna spot check it just to make sure we ain't tripping. Okay, we are tripping. It's still on a dip. All right, 51. 51. But still, hit that max pack. Let's go way back. All right, 10 years ago. Let's just go to, we'll go to 2014, same time, 10 years ago. Let's go to it. Was 2014 a leap year? Or was it 16? Yeah, it's 16. My bad. Divisible by 4. Leap years divisible by 4. If you know your tables. Boy, I was actually really good at that shit. I could not read for shit because, again, I have dyslexia. Blame it on me being, I'm left-handed in the real world. So it all makes sense. The world's backwards, y'all. And, long story short, I was really good at math tables, like divisible tables. I run you for your money, boy. I'd be like, let's go. You want to go on some divisible tables by 4? Watch me. Blah, 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 blah. That was my superpower in elementary school. Because yeah, I couldn't read. Fuck, why is it so hard to find today? 10 years ago. We're so close. All right, fuck it. We'll just do Saturday. So yeah, Bitcoin was $489 10 years ago Saturday. So on Saturday, it'll be 10 years ago. So people were literally saying this. They were saying, all you need to do is get in and forget about it. Put it in some shit. Just don't forget about how you're going to get to it. Just remember and forget about it. Right? So again, a lot of people want to take credit for Bitcoin's success. I get it. It's a big ass green candle. It's amazing. But again, you got to give a shout out to all the people back here who built the network, who bought it and put it away because they believed in the ideology. I would say that's who you see speaking now. We've been having or my big brain conversations with some people who can take it. Right? It's crazy. It's like those people that were successful back here, it makes you wonder if they're still successful today. Right? And there's a lot of people who found success in the middle who would act like they're the most successful, like they were really back here, you know? So again, in Zen world, we're doing pretty good. And we have some goodness going on with the Bitcoin. And I said all of that shit about like we wait in 10 years. I don't think Bitcoin's done moving for those people from 10 years ago. So I'm loving the future outcome for possible Bitcoin prices, right? Like, you know, 100K, that's for real, bro. Like $200,000 Bitcoin is starting to look even realer, especially once I've learned the monetary system of like inflation and shit like that. It's just looking very real. Yeah, going back to the Zen thing. if Bitcoin keeps going up, the alts will go with it. And Zen is hanging out in a, I guess you can say, consolidation range. And again, we've been here for a long time, since October, essentially. We had a pump, but again, it was just because it was captured by traders. And again, Zen is it's a real currency. Like, it's gonna take on spans of time where it's gonna just trade weird. Like, it's weird, right? But again, it'll reach points like where we are today. And today there's a lot of FUD. There's a lot of FUD. I think it's like love FUD. I don't know really what it is. Passionate FUD. I don't know what the FUD is. It's in the bio there, or in the name of this video, which is DAGs. Are DAGs blockchains? Is X1 worth it? Worth your Zen here, ladies and gentlemen? Are you wasting your time because a DAG is not solving the consensus issue in cryptocurrency? Right? Are you done with Zen? Because that's literally all Zen is. It's just a coin created into existence to be burned. Now, the trading part of it, like this thing that's been happening for the last like 100 days or so, this is the magical shit that I don't even understand. I'm just like, what the fuck? Why don't people want this all the time? But again, I think we're just not at those levels where you see price action and Zen turns into a trading coin where people trade it every single day. I mean, granted, again, people can do this. There is a trading, I don't know how to say it, but because I just don't know how to say it, but like, yeah, there is a trading action that you can do in Zen, which is attractable. But the supply distribution side of things is where I think you get the most from. And that's usually what I'm speaking of when I talk about Zen, is how it's made, that distribution, how that impacts the overall narrative that tends to change when people put their own spin on it, which is totally fine. Like, anybody can put their spin on it. Anybody can branch off, make their own fork of the idea. That's part of the idea. We're going to get into it. What's up, world? This your boy Crypto Bruh, aka More World Pizza DJ / producer. I'm just talking shit right now. Damn it. I forgot to get some water, and I'm going to have to get that. Hold up, be right back. Damn, boy. I need some water, bro. Feeling better. All right, what's up, guys? How's it going? I'm over here right now doing it a little differently. Gonna keep fucking figuring out how I want to do this shit. Coming up on my 1-year anniversary of always streaming all the fucking time, so I'm not trying to stream as much. It's wild. And yeah, heads have been in the books, learning different angles of where are we going as a crypto industry. Like, I keep seeing it evolve. Every year is different. Every year is different, bro. And I would think of 23 as probably my first real year, like, in the wild. I was saying the rogue chat member. And in this, like, in the wild comprehension of what is the industry, boy, is it fucked in good ways and bad ways. And that's what's fun about thinking of the past and keeping your narrative of what you think is the future as sound to the past as possible. It doesn't have to be straight on to the past, but having the history to make your own assumption of then and now, it helps soften the impacts of time where people are going to be battling it out on who's got the best chain and who knows the most. Who knows the most, right? So, yeah, let's learn about DAGs real quick. Blockchain. Oops, he spelled it wrong. So, we'll use Hedera. Now, this is an argument that's really blowing up right now, and it's pretty funny. It's coming on the eve of some weird ass candle. It's coming on the eve of this 200, this 72, and the 8 getting very close together. It's coming on the eve of X1 chain actually being real. It's coming on the eve of one of the biggest distribution days of Zen's supply for like the next 6 months or 3 months, you know. But these are all mints that were happening in the very beginning. So these are Genesis mints that are getting ready to hit the blocks. They slowly hitting the blocks right now, but we know the large sum of these Genesis mints are coming in the first 2 weeks of March. Pretty much all of March, everybody's gonna be making it rain Zen in either left and right fashions. That's why, again, everything is on the eve of Zen, and it's pretty ironic, in my opinion, that we're now here. We're talking about technology. We've done every fucking loop-de-loop possible, and we're back on the tech right when all that's supposed to happen is supposed to happen, bro. It's fucking crazy. I don't know how this was timed so well, you know, but I mean, capitulation is a bitch. What's that thing? Fed. What is it? Fed index chart. I don't know. What is that? The money chart? What is that chart where it's like greed? I don't know. We're gonna see if Google can make it happen. That whatever that chart is that shows you when people are like in disbelief and like greed and all that other shit, like that chart is very valid for like where we are right now in Zen, because this is so many emotions on a technical level, and that's where I think we always should be when we're getting ready to have a big move. So it's just my own theses, and this is good. This is good for good FUD, good dialogue and discussion for the community, so people can actually get their own takes on what is going on, to ask themselves, is a DAG better than a blockchain? Because it is actually a fact, you know, that a blockchain is not a DAG, and that a DAG is not a blockchain. But one could say, you know, like you could do the whole however, like science thing. However, a DAG can resemble a blockchain, but a blockchain can't resemble a DAG. So really, you just got to come to your own conclusion on how you feel about that. In my opinion, a sequential blockchain moving linear, right? Because that's really what you're looking at. You're looking at like a blockchain. Let's just do the crypto bro version. The crypto bro version is just showing you photos of how they look, because photos speaks 1,000 words, right? Well, let's look at it this way. Yeah. Or here, let's see if it has a blockchain versus DAG on Google images. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's fucking get it. So a blockchain is sequential. Oh, we gotta blow this up. Open this in a new tab, please. Okay. So yeah, a blockchain is sequential linear experience. So it's one after the other. There's A, B, C, D, E, F, Joe Mama. And then you have a DAG, a directed whatever the fuck, a graph, whatever, a graph. How about that? A DAG, a graph, whatever. But what a DAG does is it's a graph. So truthfully, it's like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, right? So it's building a web that's moving sequentially, right? It's moving forward into time, or whatever template you want to put it on. Right? That's how you get into like that bio shit where it's like, yo, what if we speed up this idea of connecting things, because we know that it can connect on time. What if we add some chemicals to make it speed up? We get deeper and deeper into this, what is the DAG idea. But again, in blockchain, right, one of the issues in blockchain is that this linear concept of one after the other and waiting using time, I mean, it did handle what I think it needed to handle, which was answering that question of how can blockchain be sync or parallel to what is reality. I've been talking about this on my channel. Hopefully this is all, that's why I'm like, this is crazy how it's naturally coming to its own conclusion, right? We are moving in parallel with Bitcoin and Ethereum, which is moving in parallel to the overall market of finance. So again, technology or Wall Street has seen crypto up until maybe now, as the ETF is here. Wall Street has seen us as like a tech company, like a Tesla, like an Apple. You feel me? So with Bitcoin really taking on this this transition into an asset that people notice, right? It's an ice cream. It's noticeable, right? It's a pink car, basically at this point. It is literally the pink car, even though it's an orange car. But those analogies of like, you're going to be able to see this thing in reality is where we are with Bitcoin. And that's why, again, $200,000 Bitcoin, $500,000 Bitcoin, it doesn't sound impossible if the world can actually see this, and if others can build, which we know we've already seen it. Like, again, there's 2,000 fucking crypto coins. So we've seen what people can do when they get the technology, but we needed, again, I think inscriptions. It's a really major ingredient to help push this forward, right? And again, that would even, you can almost say that like, because of inscriptions, it gives kind of like that DAG idea to like even Bitcoin. Like, you can only move in parallel with something for so long before you need to branch out. And again, that's why I'm like even saying for the Zen world, like we are here now too in our own paths and journeys as like, I guess you could say the OG Zenians that are still like making the nodes, mining the blocks, making Zen, right? Like, it's like, how do you keep up with everything? I'm just fucking, look at my fucking DAG, dude. Yo, look at my DAG, bro. It's just wow. Look at mad X's. But Zen is what got me there, because it's, again, it's sequential, it's linear, it's parallel, it's moving very slow. It helps you understand, maybe, I think, yeah, this is a very spiritual way of comprehension. Because when you come into the game and it is like this, you do have a many paths, that you have to test and fail. Luckily, we have fucking blockchain where that's not the goddamn, I'm sorry. It's funny. It's like so many people are putting this like spiritual fucking thing on top of the DAG right now to define what a DAG is. That it's kind of funny now to me. So, yeah, going back to a very simple explanation here, everything moves in parallel, but eventually it gets complex. And complexity on a blockchain level of transactions, one, makes a very fast and robust network, and two, it does become decentralized as the network becomes more decentralized. And again, that's X1's mantra at this point, right? No cap on the nodes. Yeah, if you've been following the channel, you've heard me say that before. There is no cap on these validator nodes, right? The cap is getting 100,000 XN. So that will be, the barrier of entry, where it's like, hey, how expensive is XN? How hard is it for me to burn a bunch of Zen? How hard is it for me to mine a bunch of XNM? That participation to the network is your own journey. You got to figure it out. Maybe there'll be other Crypto Bruh, Tree City West, people who are in the tech. Like, maybe there'll be more in the tech people that will show up to the surface, and like we'll get more I don't know, more visions of how it is molding itself out, right? And again, that's why I'm saying, if people bring their own ideas and they decide to make a spinoff of what is Zen, or what is this fair crypto open source, movement, right? Pure mediocrity domination of technology, because I mean crypto is pretty mediocre when you pull all the layers back and you're on the skeleton level. It's just like, you're just on the internet, bro. But yeah, like I do believe there's gonna be a dominant force that people will see, kind of similar to a Bitcoin. And again, that's why I'm into X1 chain. I can see exactly why you need a DAG to make it so your system can handle communication. Without a DAG and you're just in a blockchain, you really only are a P2P system. So there are situations and scenarios for that, right? Encrypted messages is perfect for blockchain. You don't really need a DAG for encrypted messages, But if I'm building like a Web3 server with artifacts that I want someone to be able to purchase using, let's say, a Bitcoin BRC20, and I want, low fees, it gets kind of complex even in there, but it's like, that's how complex you can be with X1 chain. You can bring this super crazy idea because the chain itself is ready as like a little dormant little power box, just ready for someone to just come and just remix something. But when you're on a blockchain, that's not possible. And that's why, again, I think this crypto space has been stagnant, and really it's just been a testnet for Bitcoin. We've been here for 10 years and Bitcoin has such a crazy market share. Like today, we're back at $1 trillion market cap for Bitcoin. That is insane. Like, this is it. Everything else is a business. So if people are also identifying Zen as corporate already, that's also kind of a good thing, because we're not in the mainstream, which means naturally others will see Zen and think the same thing. They'll be like, wow, this is really structured. Like this has to be corporate, right? And then you get into the mix and you're like, nah, you can join. Like, this is just a movement. This is open source. One of the only one. Yeah, it's like, yeah, we know. Yeah, we know. It's been 13 years. Nobody decided to do it. We know. Yeah. X1 is the everything dab. Exactly. What up, y'all? I haven't even said what's up to the crowd. Or I see you, Tree City West and Clay. Thanks for pulling up. Yeah, it's so comedy now, bro. Like, I'm like at a point where so many people have lost sight of the evolution. Like it, and like they getting left behind in the Zen world. So it's pretty fascinating. It's a very fascinating observation. I've never really observed it before. Like, yo, you could fall the fuck off a cliff in the Zen world. And it's not like you fall off because like you're different. I think time on Earth time makes you fall off in Zen. So you got to stay on Earth time. And it's like if you are an anarchist or whatever, I don't know, like if you're just like, yo, fuck the mainstream, you're gonna miss out on the real cues that can give you an advantage on a longer time, on like a long, right? But like if you try to stay underground in your crypto world and never come to the surface, that's the reason why you're never in this up there, right? There's not going to be a lot of coins to get up here. And again, if you see the patterns, it's always going to be a fork of what was the successor. So Bitcoin is the success, and then Ethereum is the fork of the successor, which is Bitcoin, but with just smart technology, right? It's the blockchain, but it's the smart blockchain. So that's why it's like, what is number 3? When you peel it back, the skeleton layer, bro, what is number 3, right? And right now it's a stable coin. So that's how it's a natural it should be natural to say like, oh yeah, that needs to be a crypto. So what coin is going to be number 3? And then you just keep going down the thing once you understand. And again, if you apply the principles of Bitcoin to every single coin, it can help you pull back all the layers so you can see what is happening. Like, why is BNB only $380? I would say all these coins should be much higher because Bitcoin is at $1 trillion. Like, I'm not no economical major. I'm not no econs major. You know, I'm not an economist. But one thing I do know in the streets is this is a gigantic gap, my G. Like 1,358 billion. Like, yo, you're not even 50%, bro. Like, you're what? Like, you're a slab. You're a slabman. Like, what the fuck is going on? You feel me? Like, what is happening here? And that's why it's like, even here, like, these mathematics ain't making no sense between Tether and Ethereum. But that lets you know, like, Ethereum, there's a hold value there. People want to hold this. It's like, okay, so then why don't people want to hold BNB? Why don't people want to hold Solana? Why don't people want to hold XRP? That's already, we just went down, what is that? Yeah, 4 cryptos. And the biggest question to ask is, why aren't people holding them? Right? And that's why, again, I love the Zen world. When we bring up this, at least me, when I talk to myself about this, it's like, how could Zen get to the top? We actually solved that issue of holders. People hold Zen. And what's crazy is that when the burns go into effect, it's going to be really amazing to see, or observing how this hodlers list either goes forwards or backwards. I'm very curious to see it, but it's growing a lot, man. We're at 173,000 holders in Zen world. Granted, it could be one person with 7,000 wallets. Who fucking cares? My metric I'm going off here is thinking of this as like if this was music streaming and just holding your clicks. Like a lot of brands or like a lot of people, they get a lot of clicks in the beginning, but then as time goes, those clicks diminish and they slowly move down the charts. And that's how you can tell like who's hitting or what music is really impacting the mainstream, just from one fucking artist falling down, right? That's a cool observation being in music. So I use that and apply it to holders in crypto, because if I can see the holders staying up, that's why like even Hex is a mysterious one, because god damn, it's got a lot of holders, right? Granted, it's some people holding a lot of wallets, and granted it's like 2019, you know, but like that's a good metric to be like, wow, I wonder, you know, if, you know, we can get to that number, right? Knowing we make wallets. And we look at like, let's fucking go on Solana. Oh, the Solana coins don't do it. What's a coin? Here, we'll do audio. It's an NFT. So you see, this is like an NFT coin. They got 39,000 holders, right? And then let's look at another NFT coin like Looks. They have 72. That's crazy. They still actually have more. Yeah, this chart looks actually pretty good. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you can use holders and then just going and doing research on the brand and crypto to see why people want to hold that. Like, this makes a lot of sense for a Y2 or X2Y2 to only have 11,000 holders, because it feels like that. It feels like a coin that would have 11,000 holders versus the Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT marketplace, right? This is made by Bored Ape Yacht Club minters who minted it early. So this is like their Rebel platform against OpenSea. So yeah, 72,000 holders sounds about correct. I hope there's a lot of people rebelling against OpenSea, right? And then came out X2, Y2, which was a rebel to Looks, because Looks didn't do 100% of the royalties of the fees on the market to the users. So out came a rebel for the users. And of course it should have 11,000, because Looks didn't make Looks for users. They made it for market share. So they still hold it, because a lot of people also will agree with that they like the better brand rather than the, you know, fucking free lunch, right? That's how I think of the next thing that comes out. You can't come out on some I got better lunch or my shit is free. right? It's like, oh, my shit is free though. It's like, all right, your shit's already dead. You got to build on that now. Now you got to build on my shit is free. Like, why'd you start in the dirt, right? Even Rari, yeah, 23. I would expect that. This is they just didn't come out correctly, and that's why they have a lower amount of tokens too that affect their holders. Looks has a lot more tokens. Yeah. See, there's so many tokenomics, bro. It's just too easy. But yeah, Zen though, back to Zen. On that shit, like 173,000. Like, what the fuck? This shit gonna be something else, right? I mean, ask yourself, have you looked at your favorite coins holders list? Even VMPX got 25,000 people holding it, or wallets. They're not people. Fuck it. I keep saying people though. What about MZen? Damn, MZen got a lot of holders. X1 boat mansion. Man, I can't hear this. I'm just chilling no more. I'm making a YouTube stream. It's for you. Just chilling. So you have questions. If anything is fine in your life. I know, right? I'm just chilling nowadays, dude. On the stream. Cause yeah, it's going down in IRL. Looking at charts nowadays are just becoming, what do you call it? Just lines on the screen. And like, that's why it's pretty funny when I see this conversation right now about DAGs versus blockchains. Because to me, it's like the evolution of blockchain. Like, it feels like if you get this integrated into the chain, no one has to talk about it anymore. It's just like, okay, cool. And that's what the problem is with Phantom. The thing that they did wrong was the way you solve a DAG is you need to have a decentralized approach to validation consensus. And if you can't have that approach, you're going to fuck everything up. So that's what we saw. Let's go to Mr. Jack Levin's post here. Make sure if you want the Jack facts, you got to make sure you turn the bell on. So when he posts something, you're first to the scene. Hey, let's see if I can find this. Yeah, right here. So what I'm talking about is one of the hardest things to do is to find consensus on a blockchain with a lot of nodes. Usually, sometimes people want to like, or at least from what I'm observing and what it feels like now that I'm in the observation. It feels like most blockchains have failed because they are really bad at development of the operational approach. So they're not developing with the user. They're developing for a sandbox, which is okay, but it's not innovative, right? You could relate it to like what Apple has brought to technology and how it pushed the technology into a better feeling amongst or like ergonomics with the human, right? That's kind of how I really envision like what Steve Jobs did. Like, he just made technology more ergonomical for today's reality, and now it's everywhere. It's down to your wrist, on your fucking face, and now we have software which hasn't been as ergonomical as we probably want it to be, and that's why, again, all it takes is an X account. All it takes is X to make people happy. All it takes is TikTok to make people happy. All it takes is Netflix to make people happy. So now we got these sandboxes of stability, you could almost say, in tech, which is fine. Like, cool. Like, everyone's got a Tesla. Let's build around Tesla, right? So that's cool, right? But again, the hardest thing is now you have this brand in tech, and now everybody's got to follow the brand. Everybody's got to be pro fucking Tesla. Polar Star comes out. Now everybody's like, yo, I don't fucking know if I can fuck with Tesla because I got to go full blown Polar Star, right? So there's an issue there. It's called the fork. When you want to introduce new information, right? You're going to have to fork out. That's like old technology. I think that's why, again, I think Elon bought X because it was just a no brainer. I don't know how Jack got pushed out. But he got Square and Cash App, so he's still in the race too. But yeah, X is an important one because it's like it doesn't take a lot of technology to get people on a platform. So there's no reason to keep investing and building in that experiment of like, how do we get people in the sandbox? So that's fucking old. They're there. They want to be there. They didn't have to bait them anymore. They got all the free shit. They got all the usernames, bro. They got all the platforms, and now everyone just chooses where they want to be. So consensus is back where I'm trying to get at. I just went on a really long tangent, but just to bring it back, like the consensus of the technology user. It's one of the hardest things to manifest. And the fork is another hard thing to do. So, forking and bringing people back is extremely hard. And in Zen X1, we already experienced this with the DAG, right? Again, the DAG, I think the hardest thing to answer is the consensus. So once you get a group of people, which is super cool, it's the Zenians, because it's like, yeah, this is already a first principle community. So we all approached it with the, yo, don't fuck me over, right? But I'm okay with this experiment. And then that observation created what is, I think, in my theory, the validation quorum. And it gets bigger and bigger as it goes on and on and on. That shit is gonna be so cool to watch. Like this validation quorum of people who say, fuck it, yeah, like I think X1 can be different. And then they put a lot of work into it, in a sense. They stream it every day. I don't know. They're building apps. They're building ways to store value on the chain, and things like that. But again, what I'm getting at here is we had a fork because we found a bug in Phantom, right? This bug was what I would consider now, you can call it like a 33% attack. So what happens is that if all of the validators have a certain amount of XN staked, right? So what happens is that if someone were to make a validator that was like 33% more than the whole overall, let's say 34%, right? They could unstake it, and then it would actually halt the chain because the chain has a safety. Like think of it as like an airbag in a car crash. Like the chain doesn't want there to be an offset of voting power, so it just stalls until it can be reforked and spun up again, and everyone get on consensus, and it can deliver out the right blocks, right? It was a really cool thing to experiment because again, we're in the test net, and we already have we've experienced this idea like, oh, we gotta fork the chain. So we had the same thing happen. We forked the chain. We had a lot of consensus come back online. Everybody loading up the right, the right chain data and getting all on the right chain. So it's like, again, the DAG is at work. There's A and B, and then it goes A, B, C, and D. And then as more and more people just start to just get the right chain data, it just becomes this gigantic graph. Right. And what's wild, everything about X1 chain is this, like, from the validators to even the difficulty metric in XENblocks is DAG related between the Zuni and the regular block. That's why and the super block. That's why we can mine 3 blocks at one time, because the DAG is just like allowing all this shit to happen. And again, that's why I think, again, the hardest thing is to get human beings to get a part of this consensus, because if you don't, then it fucking fails. And I don't know how more people are down, but yeah, when we had this dip, like something happened, chain stalled, people needed to update. This one wasn't a fork, it was just a soft update, like, yo, just go pull this right now, get your node back online. So people did it, and then we were able to achieve some all-time highs of validators coming online. And I think we're still in that same idea. I know there's a lot of read-only nodes. That's like our real here, let's look at that list real quick. Yeah, 635 people have interacting with the overall ledger. So what this means is we have 165 validators that are in the test net right now. These are people with testnet XN, and they're testing basically what it is to run full blocks, right? So you have a full node validator that is the real engine of the system, right? And this is kind of where you want to keep a cap. And while we're learning, most blockchains, they suffer in this part of the consensus. This is really where blockchains suffer. They can't get enough people to be down, essentially. Like, I mean, it makes sense. It's like, who would be able to do it? Like, you would say Google would do it. But then even then, I think with the rollout of their AI yesterday, could Google really do it? Like, when you think about it, like, because this is a sensitive topic that is passionate to some people. When it comes to like, yo, I'll put some energy towards creating a blockchain. Right. That's why I did show my face in the beginning and just praised homage to Bitcoin, because that's the blueprint. We don't have to copy that shit. It already happened. So it's just, how long does it take to happen? For Bitcoin, it took almost 13 years. In our world, it's happening at light speed. So I'm cool with it. And again, that's why it's weird. Everything is happening for a reason right now. There's a reason someone got transmitted to say what they're saying. I don't fucking know why. I'm confused just like everybody else. I'm like, well, why would you go so far off topic? But it's cool, you know? Just means you made your own little blockchain. And that's fine. That's the beauty of life. That's the beauty of ideas. And there's no such thing as a bad idea until it's a really bad idea. I ain't even gonna say it, because if I gotta say it, then seek help. So no bad ideas, but imaginative, fun ideas, those should be, you know, fine. You know, I believe in the freedom of ideas, but I do think a powerful idea is structured in a DAG. That's why AI is the shit. The power of this that we have now on the internet to basically web the internet into one. It sounds a little bit more futuristic. Yeah, that's in my opinion the realness. If you saying we brainwashed too as well, it's like, I guess I'm just brainwashed because I feel like we can make Bitcoin again. I haven't seen any other brand at this scale be able to get to what Zen has. There's like another one too that I saw that hit me right before the Zen effect. So it was called Lisco. Let's just call it Lisco. Yeah. DAG blockchain. What up, Dank? So like, I was looking at this blockchain because like it was really in my face when it first came out. And one of the reasons why I think it got to me is because, again, I'm like on this, like, you know, the algo on X definitely knows that I'm tapped into the motherboard. Like, I want to know about the chips and the bits. Like, where is the foundation, right? So for some reason, this was able to get to me because the guy who created it created the ERC20 standard. So yeah, I mean, it was some big shit to get to me, but it was still a marketing gimmick, because what they did was, in the beginning, to get people online and get the nodes started, they created this let's see, what is it? They're creating a node website that connects all the blockchains together. Where is this? I gotta find it. It's super fascinating what they're doing, because like I mean, it's like a way to help. It's a way to help an existing problem. I just don't think it's futuristic. You know, I think it's like dead weight code, if that makes any sense. Like, it's just something that's gonna exist. It's not Photoshop. You know, it's not gonna be here since the 80s. But there's gonna be a lot of people who make this attempt to say, yo, my shit's gonna go XYZ, you know, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so here we go. Fabian, this guy, he was like posting a bunch about like all this stuff. Yeah, so I mean, trust me, that's why I'm like, yo, I get it. Like, you can technically get baited in to creating a blockchain. And that's why I have that layer of comprehension on top of X1 chain, because every day I wake up, I ask myself, am I being baited into something Like, is someone using my energy to bring something to life? Right. So I get it. Like, there is an argument there because there are known suspects that have used their likeness to push narrative. Right. So I get that that's like a thing, man. That is like a real thing. And I'm not mad at it. It's like a weird approach now that I identify, and I ask myself, would I personally, if I knew that I'm offering to the masses this fabricated narrative that can be fucking punctured and popped, right? Because right now, every time I'm talking about Zen, I don't think you can pop it. I'm just simply waiting to be fucking right. I mean, I feel like I'm right every single day. Every day is like a new confirmation. There was the trenches, bro. That was like last year though. In the summer, oh my God, the trenches. So I don't think we're in the trenches anymore. We for sure in a whole better zone now. Like there ain't no broken down cars missing rims anymore. We're definitely in a nice neighborhood. So. Because, yeah, you can identify things like this now. You know you're in a nice neighborhood when you can start seeing things like this. Like, because that's a hard one to duck. Arthur of ERC20, he pulled me in. I was like, oh, shit. What's going on over here? They're all like, yeah, man, make a blockchain with us. And then here, I know where I can find it. I know where I can find it now. I got to go to YouBoob. So when you want to become a validator, you have to buy this box, or like you don't have to buy the box. So I was like doing my research on it, and like, oh yeah, that's what it is. DApp node, there it is. So this is like a multi-level build on top of architecture, infrastructure for crypto. So I get it. Like it makes me be very fascinated that there's people making this type of stuff, right? But again, I think now that I'm really comprehending what is open source, where technology wants to go, I can see that this filter that this person is pushing is actually not the progression of where technology is headed. Like technology is, or crypto, because crypto is, I think, going to be the head of this. I think a lot of people are underestimating how powerful this blockchain shit is, and I feel like people are putting it back into a box right now because it's so easy. And again, if you step away and just look at it, you can tell like everybody is putting their own perception on top of it. But just go back to the main, like, what is Bitcoin? It doesn't need anything. So that's the easiest way to know, like, oh shit, everybody's gassing this thing up right now. It can survive on its own, right? It's got inscriptions. So technically, like, this DApp node thing is dead. This is pre-quantum. If you want to give it like a post-quantum, pre-quantum analysis, this is what I would call pre-quantum. Like, this existed and it no longer exists because of the way that the world works now, right? It's just like the world changed, the reality changed, bro. But 2 months ago, right, we almost got baited into this. We almost got baited in, bro. Let's see. But yeah, so you would buy this block and it would come with the tokens on it. And I saw a lot of coins doing this. There's like the Chia coin. There was the Bobcat. So this is like a normal thing. That's why I knew this has to be a top signal for this idea. Like we have to be running the end of this psychological course where you give someone a box and then they bet on it. Like that can't be the end game for crypto. Like we've done it so many times. And now we have the ERC20 Arthur pushing this shit. This guy made the ERC20 standard and this is all he's got left. Like, come on, man. You gotta keep holding motherfuckers to high standards if they gonna hit one like Or, like one hit wonders are actually amazing because their catalog is crazy. Now, if you can make a one hit and a bunch of hits in the one hit wonder, like, yeah, you're a DAG. Oh my God, damn, you're a DAG, but most people are, going to be a collection of one hits. So again, that's why I think of these things and I'm like, this is like a one hit wonder style type of crypto. Like once upon a time ago, people hit with this, but in 24, do you think DApp node's really going to take you to the promised land, right? Versus like creating your own node, like in X1 chain, which is obviously reaching for a way bigger ideology that is only been solved by Bitcoin, which is the consensus of the blockchain, so we can usher in DAG. It's almost like that. Like, it's almost like we are at that point where it's on you to tell yourself, do you want to usher in the new, or are you really so stuck on what it used to be and how there's still some hope over here? And you have the right to do that. Imagination is amazing. So maybe something amazing comes out of this that is just like a DAG, but it's not a DAG, and it's better than the DAG, and it came from blockchain, right? It makes a DAG look like shit, and it's like, damn, see, you guys should have stayed on this one, maybe, I don't know. But again, that's why I'm still surprised that no one has identified that this is the real mission here. The real mission, bringing nodes online. The more nodes across the network, spread out around the world, using the world as the network, right? We haven't yet seen this from any other approach. Everybody has tried to do what Zen is doing. They have tried it. We are literally 2 years into this shit, and it's becoming like you can comprehend it at this point. I haven't even showed the XENblocks site yet. Damn, I'm gonna have to make a whole video for that by itself. We'll talk about it though. But yeah, this is something I've been heavily doing some hypothesis on. Yeah, it all always comes back to this this thing here, this top 10, and we have an argument for every single coin. Every coin on this thing. I could get in a debate with one of these people. And my biggest thing is decentralization. The reason these things can't answer the decentralization issue is because they're too closed source at the ideology state of the brand. And that is what is the problem with everything in crypto. Why we always go back to Bitcoin. Why Bitcoin has Taproot now. Right? Why a new hallucination has come out of what is Bitcoin. It's not because of the technology. It's just because people can't achieve anything. That's why I'm thinking. I'm like, yo, Elon only bought X because Jack couldn't achieve nothing with it, and then other people got it, and they couldn't achieve nothing with it, and then he got it, and look at all this achievement. It was just waiting. It was waiting for someone. But the problem again is, why do you need to be inspired? Like, why does Elon Musk need to walk into the fucking boardroom in order for you to be like, I'm gonna go fucking change the world today? I work with Elon Musk, But again, I think that's why these figures step up to the plate. I think that's why you get a Jack Levin who steps up to the plate, because if he doesn't prove to the server world that there are servers that are ready to go offline, that are ready to build new data servers and basically because that's what my impression would be, is like, how do we keep this going right now that my mind is on it? Like, how do you keep the validators growing? It's like you can open source the data centers at this point. Once you get this train of thought, it's like, oh, the goal goes from buying shit coins to buying hardware, right? It goes back to real life race. Like, it goes back to real Lambos, real infrastructure, real jets, real, bro. And that's why I'm excited about being so early to this ecosystem, because I can see how real it's going to become. And there would be, again, it's inspiring. It's like, yo, I could see a 10-year thing where I could tell someone like, yo, just wait 10 years. I wouldn't say wait 10 years. Like, I wish somebody would have told me in 23 or in 2013, don't wait, get involved, get your hands dirty today. Get them dirty today so that you can say you had your hands in the sand at this moment 10 years from now. Because who knows what the evolution is, right? That's why I say infrastructure. Who knows? You know, I was just fucking around and I found this thing and I own a data center, or I own a piece of something that's generating energy for the chain, right? It gets pretty deep because, I mean, even down to the AI. AI is being implemented in X1 chain to make it more efficient to whatever we need it to be, right? That's post-quantum development at that point. You no longer are using the human mind waiting for issue. You're moving on to the future of using autonomous, using the autonomous. I don't know what to call it, bro. But like, you know, that thing where it's an you know, when you're driving your car and then you accidentally just kind of go over the white line, that should be autonomous. It just makes a lot of sense. But again, I understand like the earth don't move that fast. I would say it's a chip race too. I think we don't have the right factories. Again, that's why I'm thinking, wow, this is the type of stuff that pushes the earth into a whole new movement. People go out and go, you know what? I just made all this crypto money. I'm going to open up a fucking chip factory in the middle of Montana. You know, oh, I'm going to move to Texas and start my own something. You know, like this is that moment, but no one's really talking like this. I don't even know why the fuck I'm talking about it to you. I mean, maybe to those that are hearing it, that need to hear it, that haven't heard this perspective. How about that? There we go. But yeah, that's kind of why, again, I'm going hard in X1 chain because I want to be at the forefront of that shit. I'm not trying to be the person learning about it later. You know, I want to be someone in the driver's seat 10 years from now, still driving 10 years from now. That's those. Now, if you can understand, that is who's running right now. Those that stayed on the 10-year move. They never got off the train. They've been on the train the whole time. Somebody told them, buy it for 10 years and forget about it. And then Jack Levin's like, dude, it's 10 years later and I'm making my own shit. Everything else sucks. It's kind of cool. I'm going to say that, though. It is kind of cool. Yeah, we almost had it, man. But again, the thing I learned about, or the thing I'm learning about in quantum I can share to you, is quantum stands for too much. That's its definition, its underlining meaning. That thing is too much. That's why in this reality that you live in, it is actually too much. I mean, there's literally 5 fast food places when you stand in a corner of fast food in New York. Like, it's gonna be all the hits: Burger King, Popeyes, what else they got? I just saw the Sonics out here. That was trippy. Next to the McDonald's, next to what else? You know what I mean? They got all of the shits all in one little area. So that's kind of how I'm starting to perceive like everything right now. It's all just put together. And yeah, man, I don't fucking know. Fuck it. Quantum is too much. It's all put together. It's just too much, man. And once you realize it, you can start to take off the layers and get to the skeleton, as I like to say. You can see like, okay, or you can use it with health and fast food. Like, it's like so easy to see how if there's an abundance of something, you're more likely to do it. So you have to bring in the self-will so you don't do it. And it's almost like you have to use that as fuel so that you keep going hard. It's like, I ain't gonna eat here. Like, I'm gonna walk past this. You know, it's like now you need so much quantum to get over the quantum experience. Right? So I'm officially looking for very simplistic quantum things that don't attack much angle. And that's why it's like all X1 is attacking is validators, to be honest. If this win, if Jack and his team wins here, they won crypto. It doesn't even matter what anybody else says. That's why this DAG thing is so funny right now, because it's just helping add fuel to the fire. He's going off too on this. He's having too much fun because he knows where this goes. bitch ass. Dude, this guy, dude, this is Revenge of the Nerds shit. See, I know he's feeling some type of way because he's picking his victims right now. He's going hard. He's over here shitting on Google. This was pretty funny. He said, Google, you know you're effed up. You know you've effed up. If I was the head of AI, I would just shut it off and resign. Release a version that doesn't throw shade on the whole company. That's crazy. He's over here telling them what to do. But I mean, see, so you guys got to comprehend where we are in technology. If you're at the race right now, let's say you're in college right now and you're booting up yourself to become something great in code. And I guess I'm different because I am a great thinker, but I am a new coder. I'm 1 year into being a real developer, I guess now. Just free form creation, which I also think hasn't been achieved outside of Zen world, because there's not many things to freeform create for. Most of the time, like I went to school or I went to a boot camp for like UX, and the whole time it just felt like we were all racing to be the best UX person, but you never could race the race because everything is evolving, and then AI steps in, right? So it's like development has been clouded because dreaming isn't feasible unless you've got that knowledge or you're on track with the right crowd. So again, I love this. Bring it back to the people movement. It's literally in our faces. I mean, you could become a developer right now if you want, and there's a whole ecosystem for you to fucking go crazy with and create value. Creates, as they say in tech, you want to create meaning. That's what we're missing a lot of, and that's what you think right now. You're a tech motherfucker and you just don't know it. Maybe you work in the restaurant world. Maybe you work in the medical world. I mean, I've been only in tech. I worked in restaurants. Yeah, I worked in restaurants. But majority of my bulk of my career has been in tech. So I've seen people come in who've never been before, right? And it's like, it's overwhelming. Things move fast, things change. But yeah, when you come into the tech world, you're really looking at meaning. Like, what is meaningful? That's why Apple had so much success, right? And that's why everyone had to open an Apple store after Apple, because now you can trap meaning in IRL, which Steve Jobs knew was going to happen. He like knew people didn't want to go to Staples and buy software. He like knew that was an easy way to get people into the Apple store. That's a free fact. Before Apple blew up on products, most people went for accessories, and then products came in when the iPhone blew up. So then people came in for products and Genius Bar, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, the scaling of tech is always meaningful products. And right now in tech or in crypto, it's really hard to find a blockchain that's meaningful to create meaningful products. That's why I think I've turned into like an X1 like pro motherfucker, because feels like it means something. It feels like if you make something over here, it might mean something, right? You can almost bring that down to the inscription level, right? People rather make inscriptions on Bitcoin because it's meaningful, but they wouldn't want to make an inscription on ETH because they know that it's not meaningful. No one's going to care about it. So they'd rather make an NFT, right? And then Doge, you can use this whole thing again. Doge is meaningful because it's cheaper than Bitcoin, which has the meaningful feeling when you do an inscription, right? So that double dosage, is what makes everyone make a fucking Dogenal. Like, you don't even know why you did it, but that's why, because you just found it meaningful because you found Bitcoin meaningful, right? This is an extremely important piece of the process of creating blockchain. In my opinion, not many chains create meaningful things. Cardano was one of the, to this day is still, I don't know. I think Charles just fumbled it. I think he fumbled his community a long time ago. And now it's just a coin in the books, and they're using his nerdness to try to be meaningful. But I feel like meaningful, like, he's an unmeaningful thing to look at. So it's like, I don't want to look at that thing. But yeah, that's my one hate on Cardano. Like, I think they dropped the ball on a meaningful community, right? But BNB is good for this, and so is Solana. Wouldn't you say that their communities find the coin so fucking meaningful for no reason? It's like, why do you guys care about this? Oh, same with like XRP. So that's a key ingredient to creating a blockchain. If your community can't find it meaningful because it's not meaningful, which is also coded in its own atmosphere of tech, because what is something, you know, that's meaningful to someone won't be meaningful to someone else, and so on. That fucking infinite fucking thing in tech. This won't be for that, and that won't be for X, and so. All right. I'm going in right now. This is cool. Can you comment on what you think the core use case for X1 is? I mean, that's what I'm saying. Satoshi overloaded. That is the wrong question to be asking. Yeah, let's go in. For anybody that's staying around. Because fuck it, I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Actually, you know, I was like, buddy, I might be hurting feelings. But I really don't want to talk about the XENblock miner thing, because it's actually not to my standard. As I'm talking like super hardcore about tech, I don't really like it. It made me think different, and that's what I do like. And I'm shouting out to the developer because they made me think different. So I'm happy that they're building something. And then I started to learn about how they made it because I wanted to make sure it was safe. And then I started to learn about Flask, app making on Python. So then I was like, wow, this is really cool. But then it wasn't made for my Mac. So I had to recreate some stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, this is still really cool because you can get instances instantly and and it loads it all in one boot. It's using like and it's, I mean, okay, fuck it, I'll show it. Let's show it. Let's get the terminal up, and then we'll talk some really deep shit. Yeah, I'm just chilling, man. Everything is moving so slow. All these mother suckers, they so slow. So you go see these in. So I already have mine's loaded up. What I mean by that is the gentleman who made it, his name's Trevor, or I don't know, his name is T. I'm gonna just say T. Jack actually posted about it too. And I think, again, this is what I'm saying. This is just the first iteration of the quantum. So it's going to become very aggressive. And that's why I can see more people approaching this and trying to figure out how they can make their own look. Because that's the only, now it's like, oh shit, now that this is real, UX is going to step in. So and now it's going to become a UX race. And that's the only reason why right now, I would say if you want to use this protocol, you're using it because you want to experiment. But you're gonna help this person, right? Like, if you want to see this become better for the community, you should actually go to the GitHub and you just hit README here. So once you get to the README area, it's gonna give you a description of what it is. If you've never used GitHub as well, GitHub is just like Jupyter Lab. So if you've been mining XENblocks, you can get a Jupyter Lab browser that makes it look like your Finder on your on your regular computer. So that's the same thing that's going on here. On my left hand side, I have all my files, everything like that is subjective. And then on the right hand side here, this is just like my viewer where I get to see, descriptions and content. So when you go to a README on a GitHub, this is typically where the developer is going to put the information so that you know how to use the app and whatnot, or whatever they want to tell you. So here, this guy has an installation video, but he also has here the startups. So he has a Mac startup, a Linux startup, and a Windows startup. Now, what's cool about this site, again, it's using your computer as like a server. So this is normal when you make and that's why I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, I like the way that it's being brought to the table, because that's like cool, right? So we go here to the terminal, and I've already got this loaded in. They have scripts so that you can auto load it, but what I'm gonna do is go to the folder that contains all of the stuff. Now the reason why is like here, I'll just run this auto script one time. So again, when you go here, it's gonna have it. But if you're using a Mac, I already sent him a message and told him that he wants to switch this around, because you want to use brew. You don't want to use sudo and apt, because on a Mac, Macs, they don't really receive Java well. So like if I were to take this right here and I go here and I copy it in, when I hit start, oh, it's going to ask me for my password. Oh, I think this is to my computer. Oopsies. Damn, boy, I don't know my password, bro. So yeah, when you drop it in on your MacBook, you're probably going to see this this shit pop up. It's going to say the operation cannot be completed, unable to locate Java runtime to support the APT, blah, blah, blah. So this is the part where I was like, oh, okay, he's not deving for, he's obviously probably making a bunch of different stuff. So he just didn't think about the Mac part. But what I did, and maybe you can just leave a comment if you want this. Like I made my own website, so I'm not foreign to this coding shit. That's why I'm saying, like, I'm not foreign to it. I just never put my hand in the mix to be like, maybe I can do this too. So what I did was I forked his what do you call it? I forked his startup, or his whole, or like the whole thing that is his page, and I changed it so that it has brew. So I guess if you want this one, leave a comment. I'll shoot you my GitHub, and then you can get this brew one. But you'll see here, if I was to copy this and paste it in, now this is gonna run the script. Oh shit, I gotta change this to auto Mac. Damn. Yeah, you see, now it's gonna say all that. So it's loading in. But yeah, see, I messed up, and now it's gonna say that. So this is the one thing where it's like, yo, I really enjoy that this developer is creating, right? But we are part of like the debug system in a sense. So personally, I think it's just a little early, but we're still getting there. Like even me, like I just right now try to do this, and I noticed that even mine, I need to update. Here, let me see. Let's do it again, and we'll just update it and see if it does it all in one lickety split. I think this just needs to say Mac, right? Underscore Mac. Oh man, whatever, bro. This just bugging. So even me, see, like that's why I'm like, yo, I need to fix this up. I know what I need to do to make it right. So I'm not worried. And this again, why I'm saying, if you're gonna go and dive in and do this XENblock one-click miner, just know that it is a little difficult. Not a little difficult, but there's a learning curve, and every day it's getting better by everyone. So I've already downloaded this. So let me go ahead and just get into it. All right, because all you're downloading really is just this APY. So you want to get to the folder that has it. Do Python 3. We're gonna do app.py. So again, what this is running is a Flask app. And what a Flask app is when you are coding in Python, you can grab, you can import a prerequisite called Flask that opens up a web environment or a web framework, website framework. I don't know. I call it web environment, but I can understand that might be too little loose. But yeah, website framework in Python, so you can do live editing. So essentially, this developer is pretty cool because he's kind of utilizing the Flask in like a new way, where to host the information, instead of him having to open a server up and like keep the server on, he kind of like makes it so that the user has to run the server on their own computer. So what happens is once you get the app running, it's gonna prompt you to run this URL, because this URL is in the app code to prompt the UX, right? So I mean, this can get pretty deep. Like, you can dive. That's why I'm like, man, this is really cool. I cannot wait until we see this world where more people are taking advantage of how flexible it is to create for our world. Because the reason why this is flexible is that Woody created a one-liner miner. So he did all the work to make the one-liner miner. Then somebody came around and then they created a website that uses the one-liner miner to set up users in one click to get to mining. So what happens is when you load it up, you'll have this setup wizard, right? The setup wizard is gonna load you in to into like all the right positions, so you know what you're doing, right? So it's gonna tell you to create a VAST account. Next, off the rip, after you create a VAST account, you get this piece here where you'll see a drop-down menu for your account, and then there'll be like an API key, and then you can copy and paste that API key into here. And then if you want to have, so this is also a little bit buggy right now. I would say just give it some time if you're not getting performance stats. Again, I'm on Mac, so I think it's more of a Mac thing than it is a Linux or a Windows thing. I'll have to try this on my Windows machine so I can get a little bit of a different feeling. But right now I can't see it on my Mac. So what you can do though is you can import this public key into your VAST account, and then it will help with doing performance so you can track your miners. But then when you hit next, it's going to ask you to put in your ERC20 address. Then you just hit complete. And then what happens is this configurates in the background so that when you go here, right, and let's say I want to get 12 3090s right now, right? This website built a script that's connected to the VAST AI API, where it goes and it hits the market and tries to find you 12 GPUs in one click of a button. So I press here, place order. It tells me, cool. We went ahead, we started the mining script. So then down here, I'm gonna be able to see a terminal that's telling me that it's working. I can also go over here to this instance, and then in this instance area, it's gonna tell me what it's found, and then it's also gonna show me how it's loading, right? So this is special in this regard. In this regard, this is cool. Now, again, this is what's now we're seeing some of the realities here. There are some realities here that make it, like I said, you're super new, or we're all new. Like, no one is late right now. Like, these sites are just now coming out. We're just now seeing developers comfortable enough to roll it out, right? And again, this is bare metal rollout, because they're not rolling these out on servers that they're supporting. They're basically giving it to you. And this is really cool. It's almost like on your iPhone, right? Or what do you call it? Friendtech. Friendtech, they made it so that the only way they could bypass the App Store was that you had to load the app onto your phone as like a widget, like a home page button, right? So we are kind of moving back into this world where it's not necessarily where the data is being stored. It's just how the user gets the access. So as long, and again, what I say, Elon, right? It's not about recreating the wheel of what's the next big thing in tech. It's about buying the biggest thing in tech and making that better and pushing humanity closer to a breaking point using that instead of creating a new wheel, right? So that's kind of how I'm seeing this free-formed open source, random URL expression, right? Is like, this is our op to make websites, and time for people in the community to participate if they can get past the random.com, right? If you can get past that, that's why to me it was super duper interesting to see this developer using the Flask. It makes me wonder how many more things are out there like this, how many more cool ideas are like living behind a Flask in Python world on some nerd shit, Flask framework is used by like Netflix. Most of the websites you see nowadays are built in Flask. The difference is that their URLs are pinging servers. They're not using your computer as its own dormant server and then using APIs pulling from scripts to populate the information, right? This is literally Vast, right? If I go over to Vast now, this is my Vast account. He's cool. He made it because you can, in Vast normally they have a label button. So he just built it into the script where it labels it as like the market orders. So you can see them all in one spot. But you can see here, some of them didn't start. And that's like where the problem is. So you can like dump these off here. Or if you're in the script, you can dump them off here. And so you see what I'm saying? It's the same thing. The difference is it's a different UI on a different thing, right? But these different things, this is the meaningful work. Bro made this out of nowhere because this is meaningful. If this can hit the right people, and this could be the snowball effect. So again, this is how you can transform fiat into crypto with no KYC. So this is a whole new world, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure this world exists, but it's pretty underground and it's coming to the surface now. This was the first introduction for me, man. I have never thought about this shit. Server, like running the server on the server. If you think about it, it's like a Tor browser, right? But Tor was even, not as decentralized as this, in my opinion. Now, the thing that is centralized is the Vast. So I asked myself, like, is that all that needs to be changed now? Now that we're here, this moon race that we're in, does this change? Does this become a Coinbase account? Does this become your Chase account? Right? But we do need to get this UX under control so that it's easy for people to come and explore. Then we also need to get GPUs that are workable. We need GPUs that come online. Somebody asked for 12 GPUs and it looks like only 3 were successful, right? Or out of I got 5, so I'm 7 were pop and broken. Now I got to go back and I got to run the script for 7. Let's see here. Oh, it stopped script. And we'll go ahead and hit 7. Place the order. Let's see if it's going to get a 7 more. So it ran it. Now you just got to wait for it to turn on. So, again, what's going on here is this is using. So here you'll see it. So on start. So this is very transparent, and that's why this is doable. So what the developer has done, again, just to kind of put it all into perspective, the developer has created an app, and then they've created all of these. Think of these as this is the app. You've never seen an app like this before. Like, this is how sick we are with it now in the future. Like, you can go and look at an app and look down to the Python and read like down to the Python configuration what's happening here, right? So what's awesome is that you shouldn't have to know about this stuff, but this is the flexibility of the Zen world to create again, this meaningful work that I'm calling it. It is very meaningful to build out like an app like this, in my opinion. Because you can do it from scratch. You can literally do it all, like, and that's why he chose the Flask, because the Flask, you can do this thing where you make your HTML and you catalog it within all the files, right? Sometimes back in the old days or whatever, you did everything in one long ass script. So it is cool to see where we are today in scripting, because, you know, especially like making an app. It's like, that's why, like, here in this app, when you run it, has all these imports: import Flask, import Bootstrap. And this is again why I'm really digging Python and learning about Python, because these prerequisite pieces, these are like libraries that everybody in open source have worked on, and now we have like simple flows that everybody has chosen. So now it's like, you don't even need to learn about a lot of stuff, because you just need to know the framework that the code needs to be in, and then from there it's just turn up, right? After you put in app equals Flask name, it's just turn the fuck up, bro. How you gonna turn up, bro? That's that's how I'm starting to register it in my research. And I think that's where the innovation has stopped. That's where the meaningful work has stopped. Everybody has learned all of these fucking libraries and imports, and all they've done is created a monster called Uber. Right? There's not much meaningful work. A meme is more meaningful than some of these people's probably like $100,000 paying jobs. And that's what's cool. That's why, again, I'm supporting this build, because it's built very well. There are some sticky ickies, but it's something to do with Mac, so it'll grow with time. And again, there are some other sticky ickies, like these sticky ickies of, well, you can't control the GPU. That's random at this moment until there's a better API that's controlling the GPU. Make sure that it's valid, right? That's like a whole. These are new problems being found in meaningful work. It's fucking crazy. But yeah, going back to what I'm saying here, on start, what it's doing is it's starting up Woody's miner. Look at that. So this is a one-liner miner. Like, you could literally copy this whole thing and drop it in. Like, you could start a brand new instance in Vast, copy this whole thing and drop it in, and it'll just like start kicking. Right? You can see here there is a dev fee, right? And I mean, as there should be. I mean, they made this shit, but it's not a big one. You can adjust it as well. When you're on the site here, they have the little flywheel, which is the settings. And you got your little address, your API key, and all that shit. And then down here, they have the dev fee. So you can dev it up. You can give them up to 10% of your blocks. So that's what it is. It's not like you're giving them part of your Vast credit. You're giving them some of your blocks. So they're getting paid in XENblocks and in Superblock pieces and things like that, which is totally cool, you know? And again, that's what I mean. This is creating an economy of meaningful work where people will make things like this and they'll be okay with taking X&M because it means something to them. And they hope that this means so much that it means something to X&M. And if X&M is successful, then their work is even more meaningful. I'm sure this is the reality of where we are. We would be hearing this if we worked for like a Google as creatives that were hired to create. This is what they would be telling us. How do you make something meaningful? We'll give you $200,000 more to make more meaningful bullshit. Right? So that's kind of where we are now in this instance, and that's why this is pretty cool. Again, that's all it's doing is just dropping this in so that you can focus on stacking the racks, I guess. It's calling me. People trying to tell me to be meaningful. But yeah, stop calling my phone. But yeah, like what do you call it? So yeah, that's pretty much that. And again, the reason you have to start it in the terminal is because it's actually a Python script website running on your computer, using your computer to create the website. It's using parameters from open sourced frameworks on the internet to basically provide basic things, right? Like you don't need a I mean, a lot of this again is created with the internet. Like that's the beauty of the internet of today, and code is everything is intertwined together, and it's all controlled by the prerequisite. So if you're doing some research too, you should start researching just fun ass imports. That's something I've been doing lately, trying to build with that and like get inspode, and trying to see where that takes me. But yeah, that's kind of all I got for that. I just started a bunch of mining for no reason. The other thing too, the reason why I'm not really using this right now too is because I can't see what I'm mining since my paths are messed up. And maybe tomorrow I'm gonna work with a dev later today. I'm gonna hit him up at least, and I'm gonna try to pick his brain to see if we can figure out why my paths are broken, and then we can maybe bring that to the community later if you have a MacBook. But yeah, if you have a MacBook, I'm pretty sure you're not gonna see any of this stuff. Like if I hit performance, it's gonna tell me something about the log. Yeah, table's empty. So there's a lot of shit going on. I just gotta figure it out. And yeah, man, that's why it's like, yo, we are in meaningful. We're in a good time right now, bro. Shit is on a should be in something right now. So I can't believe anybody would sell their Zen right now. If they doing it though, they doing it, and we gonna see what happens. But yeah, right now this is looking really good, in my opinion. It's setting up for something nice. Damn, DXN at 88 cents. Damn, all-time low for DXN is 62 cents or so. I think it's like 62. Oh, 50 cents. And this is as expected. Again, I knew that people would sell the release of the NFT collect, or like the NFT market. It's just too easy. You sell that, you create a lot of hopium before it, and then you just sell it off, and then you mine from they're mining from the DAP and just selling them down. But again, I'm really, time is on DXN side. It's actually great for pre-quantum because it's connected to the calendar, and I think that's the only thing that can save technology from the past, is if it has a good story with the pre-existing space and time. Like the iPhone, for instance. Like that's why I'm like, oh, this is gonna keep fucking traveling in time until people say I don't want an iPhone anymore, because it's that impactful, right? So I think DXN can have that impact in its presence, especially because it's connected to Zen, which is connected to X1, which is post-quantum technology. So anything that's coming with X1, or anything that's pro X1, is pro post-quantum, even if it's in the pre-quantum, like a DXN, like a Phoenix, like a Zen, you know what I'm saying, like XNM, right? Going backwards in mining crypto, proof of work still becomes post-quantum because it's connected to the DAG. Mindfuck. Man, this shit is so deep, dude. Yeah, people are for sure gonna be paying thousands of dollars for this information in the future. It's too free. It's too free right now. This shit is too free. I need to shut the fuck up. No more free bars. Okay. All right. Yep, that's it. Yep. All right, y'all. Till next time, man. Peace. No more free bars. No more free bars.